Imagine facing an army of 1,000 soldiers. Alone, most would run, but not Lubu. He stood tall, his spear gleaming under the sun, ready to make history. As the soldiers closed in, you could almost hear his heartbeat. They charged, but Lubu didn't flinch. With a mighty roar, he plunged into battle, cutting through the enemy like they were nothing. 1, 2, 10, 50. The bodies piled up. The soldiers began to doubt. "Is he human?" they whispered, terrified. But Lubu didn't stop. He fought on, each swing more powerful than the last. Finally surrounded, exhausted, he stood over 100 fallen men. And then, he smiled. The army? They fled in fear, convinced they weren't facing a man, but a demon. That day, Lubu proved one thing: when courage meets madness, legends are born. Lubu was a warrior like no other. His strength could crush entire armies, and his courage was unmatched. But beneath the armor, there was more to Lubu than the world realized. Was he truly the ruthless monster history painted him to be? Or was there something more behind his fearsome reputation? Born into a world of chaos, Lubu had to fight from a young age just to survive. He rose through the ranks, feared by enemies and even his own allies. They called him a traitor, a man with no loyalty. He killed his own adoptive father, and people whispered that he was driven by greed, power, and a thirst for blood. But was it that simple? In those days, loyalty was a luxury. Kings and warlords turned on each other like wild animals, and one wrong move meant death. Perhaps Lubu wasn't cruel, maybe he was just a man trying to stay alive in a world that offered no mercy. Each betrayal, each battle, was another step in his desperate quest for survival. But there was one thing that haunted him: Diao Chan, the woman who made him feel human. For her, he risked everything, and in that moment, Lubu wasn't a monster. He was just a man who dared to love. Yet, when the final battle came, his allies abandoned him. He stood alone, captured and betrayed. As he faced his execution, Lubu looked into the eyes of his captors and smiled. "You fear me because you know you would have done the same with that." The truth emerged: was Lubu truly ruthless, or was he the only one brave enough to embrace the darkness everyone else hid from?